Well, I'm here at the Golden Guardians Move-In Day with Hi himself. Hi, you are the long-standing veteran here among players that have been around for maybe a couple years, and in some cases never been in the LCS. Uh, how did you end up on Golden Guardians, and sort of what's your take on the roster and all this kind of stuff?
Right. So I'm pretty excited. I have half a decade on every other player on my team. None of them went to college, like not even for like a year, not even half a semester, anything. None of them went there. So I'm really excited to be working with a bunch of new players that are hungry to improve, hungry to work as a team, and hungry to, make a name for themselves, right? Because all of them have been like around, and like the most notable one outside of like myself, I guess, would be with contracts. But they all want to like be like, hey, I'm a good player, I'm a good teammate, and I'm here to make a name for myself and show everyone that that we can compete against the best. And while we have a long way to go, I believe that with the players that we have, we can definitely get there.
And why did you decide on Golden Guardians during the offseason?
Why did I what?
Why did you decide to join Golden Guardians?
Right. Well, first off, there's only so many teams that I can join just because people already have rosters. Yeah. Like, TSM already has Bjergsen, and like, you're not going to replace them, right? So there's a limited options of what team you can join. And for the ones that were available, I personally like the entire atmosphere, environment, work staff, players, and their general mantra of what they had in mind. I really support the idea of instead of just picking, the best imports, the best all-stars, and put them all together and hope that they work out, I'd rather, build something that's sustainable for the long term, get a bunch of new guys in, hungry to work together, young, and motivated to, be team players. Because at the end of the day, the teams that are winning Worlds, League of Legends, NALCS, whatever, are the teams that aren't necessarily the best in each role, but the team that puts all their pieces together and then plays it best that way. And I believe that's something that we'll be able to do.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting to me about your involvement with this roster is it kind of reminds me of the old school Cloud9 roster when you guys joined the LCS, because you had all these big names like I don't know, Double Lift and Reggie and Hotshot and all these guys. But I think for a lot of people, the Cloud9 players, the Quantic players, were not as well known. So does it at all harken back to kind of like the early days of your career joining this team?
Right. So back then, League was very, if you were known or good, you're kind of like in the in circle, kind of, That's why CLG was the team that they were, TSM was the team that they were. And for anyone that was new coming in, you kind of had to like prove to everyone that like, you're good enough to play the game, because it was hard back then. It was very, I don't know the term for it, but very clicky, I guess, back in the day. And now it's not the same anymore as far as clickiness goes. But, we're definitely not necessarily new kids on the block, but we're the underdogs or people that don't have expectations for themselves. Like other people don't expect us to do much. So going into that, that's great. We have no pressure to perform at some level of like, a world top tier class team yet. Can we get there? Yes. Do we want to be there? Yes. It was going to take time? Yes. Yeah. But it's exciting to be able to start fresh with, new people to show everyone that everyone on this roster is good.
I think that no one doubts your ability to shot call, but I will say there are members in the community that feel like you might be past your prime mechanically, or that you can't keep up with like the Jensens and the Bjergsens of the world. Do you think that's a fair assessment? And what would you say to people who view you that way?
Right. Well, I would say first off, they are allowed to have whatever opinion they have of me. Obviously, I have my own. If I wasn't a good player, I probably wouldn't want to play. I don't feel like I'd be a very competitive player or someone that people would want to work with if I wouldn't be able to, hold my own or even beat them or whatever, right? So I would make an argument that it's possible that they are better mechanically, especially on certain champions are than others, or just in general, for sure. But once again, League of Legends is more of a game than just, am I better than you mechanically? It's not like CSGO where like I have to shoot you in the head before you shoot me, right? Like there's different things you can do to make you win the game. And as far as like the strict point of micro play, sure they can be better at it during certain phases or in certain champions. But I'd like to say that I have my own strengths, and hopefully that's enough to, warrant any failures that I would have, whether it be micro, macro, whatever, if those are even present.
That's a fair assessment. Finally, since we are here on the Golden Guardians Move-In Day, what is it like for you checking out the house and moving in here. Also, are you going to be living here full time? Because I know that in the past you haven't always lived in team houses. So what's kind of your status and what do you think of this place?
So I believe I could say this, but this is the old Immortals house. I'm pretty sure I can say that.
Everybody's already said it.
All right, cool.
It's out. The story's out.
All right, cool. So I've been here before, actually. This place is freaking massive, man. It's like an exorbitant amount of money per month. It has a guest house in the back. The master bedroom has 2 showers in it, 2 walk-in closets, 2 toilets, 2 sinks, and it's just the biggest thing ever. I'm not staying in that room.
I was gonna say, is that you're like it's great.
That's too big for me. Like I don't need that much space. Like I don't have that many clothes, right? And like what am I gonna do in the second shower if I'm in one shower? Like come on. Like I can't shower in both at the same time. That's just inefficient. Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited to be here. We still have a lot to do. I don't know if you're gonna walk around the house or anything like that, but clearly there's nothing here yet. I kind of want to get rid of this table, like. I want to get rid of all the Immortal stuff, get it out of this house. Although if we can, take their record and, the score of, Underworlds, that'd be cool. So, I'll keep the mantra of their skill, but all the physical stuff, no thank you.
I was going to say, this is one of the few pieces of furniture in here right now. So getting rid of this, I feel like, might not be the best idea. But I mean, are you going to be living here full time?
Well, the game plan is... So I believe every LCS team is going to take Monday off. Yeah. LCS is on Saturday and Sunday. So for the days that we practice, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I should be staying there the night before. So I'll be there 4 nights a week or something like that. And then for the weekend, the game plan is for me to commute from home to work to try and start a catalyst movement of getting or phasing gaming houses out. I'd like to believe, a year from now, 2 years from now, whenever, that gaming houses are a relic of the past, and most players will live on their own or as roommates elsewhere, and then commute to work at an office, because I believe and feel like that builds a healthier environment for everyone involved.
Yeah. It's kind of this inertia right now, keeping everybody in gaming houses. Mm-hmm. Anything you want to say to any of the High fans out there, or maybe the prospective Golden Guardians fans?
Right. Well, first off, thank you for interviewing me. I appreciate that, as always. Second, I hope everyone cheers on all my new teammates, the new team that I'm going to be on. I'm excited to be a Golden Guardian and look forward to us doing what we do. Hopefully, it's enough to prove to you guys that we are good.
Well, looking forward to seeing what you can manage to pull off next year. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. A lot of people ask me whenever I said that other thing about Double F charging me $5,000 for an interview if that was real. No, it was an obvious joke. He charges me $10,000 an interview. Please help me out. TravisGafford.com/support.